Mike Gill, state of corruption. Right, back from Washington. I'm standing in front of the New Hampshire Supreme Court. I'll get into that in a minute. I need you to share, and I need you to follow this page. I am telling you, there's going to stop me. I went to Judicial Watch. They know who we are. I went to the FBI. I went to the U.S. Attorney. I went to a couple law firms. There isn't anyone who doesn't know who we are and what we're doing. None. That FBI agent you saw me being interviewed with, first thing he did is he looked at me. I said, "You know exactly who I am." I had caught him. He had looked at me and he had that look in his eye where I knew I caught him. So you know what? In his training, he embraced it and told me, "I do know who you are." But it also knows that the evidence we have. What's more dangerous than telling the truth? I haven't told you one thing that wasn't true here. All right? Now this is what we're doing, and I still need your help. I can bang on the door, but I need your help to open it. Understand the importance here. 274 million was a message. Do you know we weren't allowed to have 56 witnesses that we had, including 5 state troopers, including a judge, Judge Wedgeling, out of Brentwood. All these states I'm going to show you are out of Brentwood. We could take out a whole courthouse. What I'm showing you is the corruption within our states, all our states. Bill Shaheen's not the only power broker. You have them in your states. I have exposed the cartels and how they're protected by these courts that are corrupted. They're run by Shaheen. Judge Anderson, ready? DRA, summary judgment. Remember, 5 million. Well, here it is from the DRA. I want you to take a look at it. We'll post it. Their offer to me was 90,000. They took 1,000 in fees, 1 million in fees, another million out of the account, and won another 5 million. Why? It's extortion from my silence. The same people who offered me 50 million. You don't have to go back far. Look at the videos before I had the drug dealers up. It was Walker, it was Shaheen, it is the protection and the corruption in these courts. What do you think's happening in family courts? These people own them. That's what's happening, just as they do civil and criminal. All right, so here's my appeal for those drug dealing bastards and Shaheen and Gordon, right? My attorneys. They're gonna have to explain how they offered me 50 million. They're gonna explain how they buried my subpoenas, how they buried my witnesses. All right, that's the corruption. And just to show you how this corrupt works, we put 4 stays on September 22nd, all right? To the Supreme Court. We haven't heard from any of them. Guess what? Delker wants a contempt hearing. Right, we called Walker an extortionist. Hey, listen, you see that 90,000? You see how they already took 2 million, want 5 more? That's extortion. You know who's handling the case? Walker. You know who asked for his release, condition upon this? Walker. There you go. You see? So let's think of the commonality here. Delker, ready, with Walker. No witnesses, no evidence, no exhibits. Tucker, no witnesses, no evidence, no exhibits. Anderson with the DRA. Guess what? No witnesses, no exhibits, no evidence. I'm the only guy in the universe who owes about $300 million and hasn't been allowed to bring in all the evidence, including the releases from my attorneys who offered me the money. Now listen, we're gonna go in this Supreme Court and we're gonna say, hey, where are our stays? What are you doing? You've had them for a week. They're supposed to be emergencies. Let's see if we can film this. Okay, let's go in. Good. I'm filing an appeal, but I'm also need some answers on stays that I put in on the 22nd. You see? You guys stamped them? Okay. Stamped them again here, here, and here. Okay. Now these are important that they get heard. Mm-hmm. They're trying to take money out of a payroll account in my company. Okay. So in other words, you're going to close a company that's in existence for 29 years, okay, and they're doing it criminally. So could you find out why we haven't heard on those?
And this is a new appeal?
That's the new appeal.
Okay.
And, all right, so now let's find out where our 4 stays are. Now we're good. See now, they've been stamped. They're only trying to cut down mortgage specialists who's been in existence for 29 years, who fund state of corruption. Funny thing is, right? You saw me get arrested at the end of that hearing with the drug dealers. It was Anderson's arrest. The funny thing is, he wants the account for Bank of America. It was his DRA, no witnesses, no nothing, that closed the account.
Wow.
And Delker closed the other one. So these the 2 accounts that they put us in jail for, both judges are the ones who closed them. They want to close our payroll account. Right? Guess what we're going after this? We get surprise coverage. I brought a little piece of Kill Gill, and we're going to go to Governor Sununu, who's always got our information, right? Has our evidence, face to face. We're going to do it again.
And it looks like one of the cases is stayed. This one, and has been stayed.
Has been stayed. They just arrested me for it.
This one. Sorry.
Why haven't I gotten a notice?
This is the one that's been here a while, and it was stayed first back in.
No one notified me that it was stayed. So it's in stay position now.
And it was before that motion was filed.
Then how's that done?
I don't know. I can give you a copy of the order. It would have been mailed
they
to
only
you.
put me in jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
so these other 3 are pre-screening.
Pre-screening?
The September 22nd
Yeah.
motions have not been answered yet. If you want to file an emergency motion, you can do that.
Emergency, yes.
If you want to amend that.
They're trying to close my company. All right? You know who I am? My name's Mike Gill.
Okay.
State of corruption.
Yeah.
You know that's for 274 million appeal. These are who I'm dealing with. And these stays were critical at the time. So, and how about this? On this day, no one ever
I'll
notified
get you
me.
a copy of that order. That was before September 22nd motion.
Right.
Wow.
So when they put me in jail, they had a stay and they knew about it. So the court knew about it. The judge would have had to know about the stay.
Is retained.
Never was notified.
I'll get you a copy of that.
Thank you.
We don't have any returned mail, that order.
And I can take these with me.
Yeah, those are your docket cards.
So did they say that a judge reviewed any of these?
It's with the court.
So the
We
judge.
just don't have an order back from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, a moment, I'll get you
Okay.
an order.
So, even after over a week, they didn't hear these. And guess what? Judge Anderson, you see him put me in cuffs? We had to stay the whole time. The Supreme Court didn't send us that back. Didn't notify us. Right. Now, how corrupt do you think Judge Anderson is? This is what we're talking about. And the stays. You know why they were waiting on the stays? Because I had 2 hearings next week. One to take my money and one to take my freedom. So we'll refile these as emergencies. I guess shutting down a company for 29 years wasn't an emergency. Let's not forget, people, we process loans. We have people's mortgages. We have people who work for this company for over 25 years and have families. You think these animals think of that? No.